Hello and welcome back to the Film Club, the club where we talk about films that we've been recently watching, viewing and enjoying. Let me know what you've been recently watching and enjoying, and if you've seen what I'm about to talk about, let me know in the comments what you thought about it. The Planet of the Apes films have genuinely always had a soft spot in my heart. They're not films that I necessarily get hyped and excited for the next release of, but I just like them. I feel like the first one was a very much nostalgic comfort film for me, where I remember being relatively younger and watching it and thinking this is really cool. And then the next two in the trilogy, I didn't pay much attention to, if I'm entirely honest. And they're the better two. Like, Dawn and War are just so good. From the absolutely stellar CGI performances from Andy, as always, we all know, and that by now we all are very well aware of that. But the just beautiful scenes in all these films and the way they're shot and the CGI and how the performances come through has just always intrigued me. And also, I just think it's a brilliant concept for a film. And so to get this new one, which was obviously set in the future, it's sort of a new story set in the same world, I was really intrigued. I thought the trailers really did a good job in sort of hooking you into this new era, and I was really excited. So I went and saw it, and I was not disappointed. This was a really good film. While it's not like absolutely mind-blowingly insanely good, and I don't think it's as good as maybe Dawn and War. I don't think it could be better than Rise, but just it's still great on its own. It's just not as good as those, but it's a good start. And the way I see it is Rise was good, but it wasn't anything to be absolutely blown away by, whereas War and Dawn were brilliant, like absolutely brilliant. So this is the first one in the new trilogy, so hopefully the two that follow, and I know they want to do more after that as well, but hopefully those next ones could stand up to the others. Now that I think there was a lot of, not necessarily pacing issues, because I think it was needed, but it was a little bit slow at times because it was trying to sort of delve you into this new world. You know, this world where humans don't really exist anymore, and if they do, they can't even talk, and there's actual developed ape like communities all around, and there's also bad apes, and there's this one guy who's just, what a wonderful day, and all this is just, I understand why it had to be slowed down for those reasons, but at the same time it did suffer in some senses with the pacing, especially in the first act, I thought, in just getting going. And I really wish we got more of Proximus. His character was so intriguing. Like, I thought he was a great sort of villain, but also he sort of had like a good motive in a way, but it was just sort of a bit wrongly contrived, and so I just wanted to see more of him. I thought the acting of him was absolutely brilliant, the voice acting was absolutely amazing, and just this concept of an ape who has all this power, I was really interested and I wanted to see more of. I wish he sort of came in earlier in the film, because sort of, I mean, for the first half of the film, you sort of think that the giant ape under his control is, or gorilla, sorry, is the main bad guy, because he's the one doing it all. But no, it's not, and it's actually Proximus. And I want to see more of, and I hope that he somehow survived that fall. Is it just going to be the movie trope of, if you don't see them die, then they're going to come back? Maybe. But regardless, I thought Noah's an interesting character. I think it would be really cool to like delve into his past, because it would be really cool if like maybe he's a long lost descendant of Caesar, and that's why he's like the good guy and stuff like that, to just connect all the stories. But I'm interested to see where the story goes, because obviously at the end we had the whole thing with the girl taking the like coding to the people, and then they moved the satellites. So is it going to link to the original Planet of the Apes films, where a guy from space comes down and it's a human and he's like, what's going on here, there's all apes? I don't know. It would be really cool to see, like, because Proximus is kind of like, he's a bad guy, but he's not like an awful guy. Like, he's got morals in a sense. It would be cool to be like, oh, maybe Noah and him have to team up because humans are just trying to take over again. So, I don't know. I really don't know. It's got a lot of scope to go places, and I just genuinely think this is it's a brilliant example of how CGI can be. Like, Marvel, I don't know what they're doing. I really don't, because you see films like Avatar, Godzilla -1, this, where the CGI just looks brilliant. There's not one shot in this film where I was like, that looks fake, that looks goofy. Whereas just like the budget of these Marvel films, and they just look so shoddy. I don't know what happens. I really don't, because this is pure proof that you can do CGI right. And I mean, it's a massive thing on Twitter all the time, but look at like the Pirates of the Caribbean films. Look at I can't remember his name, but the guy with all the tentacles. That was in 2007, I believe, and it looks so good. CGI can be so good if you just don't rush everyone and give them stupid deadlines and give them extra shots or changes that at the last minute. Just stick to something and make something brilliant looking, because it's so much nicer and better to watch, and it will hold up for years to come, because I truly think this film will hold up for years to come. I think the previous trilogy will, and this will as well. Some absolutely lovely shots. I mean, especially of just like the overgrown apocalyptic cities that have just, you know, nature has taken over. The fire that when Noah's home like gets set on light. Just everything looked great in this film, and it's just a testament to what you can do. But anyway, let me know, what did you think of Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and I will see you next time on the Film Club.